peace, love, and centeredness, as I always like to say. I always like to start a video in a meditative fashion, or in stillness. Meditative, as medi, means middle, which means centered, which we will go into in a different video, do some syncretism on that. So, starting a video with stillness. Stillness is connected to magic. How is that? There are 7 colours in between black and white. People perceive, you look at it and you would perceive gratitude, being grateful, to be grateful for something. Yeah. However, it has much, much deeper meaning. And the reason for that is within this place, everything that you look at has multiple levels of understanding to it, as we always like to say. Also, so when we embark upon something like stillness, if we embark upon, say, for example, a dry fast, and you do this for 18 to 20 hours, yeah, which is something that I'm doing every day now, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Then what actually happens is once we then break that, yeah. So for example, if I'm going to use, when I drink this, these are fruits. I don't break it with this. I'm breaking it with lots of waters before that. Now we perceive waters just to be waters, but there's lots of levels of understanding. We now know that water can have ridiculous levels of, water is magic, far greater than we could ever have imagined. Yeah, and it has capabilities in it far greater than we could ever have imagined. Also, but when we break this stillness, our senses have now become heightened. So when we drink this, what happens is we now taste and feel far more than we could have done previously. Yeah. So abstinence equals then levels of gratitude. Yeah. Born out of total stillness. But we can't see this. We couldn't see this looking from this perspective of only having two dualistic eyes. Yeah, two dualistic eyes. And that brings me on to this. I want to I'll show this, and then when I go into do the other presentation, we'll see that as well, and the more the practical side. So if you see this here, yeah, this is a clock. The first winding clock. Yeah, in actual fact, what happened was they decided that they need to be wound for 8 days, instead of 7. Yeah. Now, what actually happens is that we start here from our core essence. Yeah. When we start from our core essence, when we start here as our core essence, yeah, we are in the most. We have the most amount of energy possible. The energy, light body, is connected to all our super capabilities, right? But I can only say this to you based on our understanding of where we are at. Coming from looking at a perspective outside of this place, outside of this, you're coming from the perspective of an immortal, infinite mind, yeah, which is a universal mind, which is one. Again, as we come outwards here, we decrease in energy. Yeah. We are only the vehicle that we are using, we are only borrowing it. Yeah. The light of the sun, as we come out here, we decrease in energy. The sun gives us vitality, it's fantastic. But what also happens, as we leave this point, this point here is unmanifest counterspace. So when you are incoming from out of the multiverse and you come through here, as we come through, you decrease in acceleration, which means you decrease in energy. And this is how you fall. This is what they mean by falling. This is what they mean by a fallen angel. And then we fall and then we crash into matter. When you fall and you crash into matter, you came through the light of the sun. Paradox. The same light of the sun, which gives vitality, also creates an illusory scenario when you are conscious, because you're in a beta mind with the sun. Yeah. So you're constantly looking at the conscious mind, your conscious light, which is everything in movement. No stillness, everything in conscious movement. Yeah. What happens is when we become encased inside of that, And then what happens is we are using two dualistic eyes now. Because we are using two dualistic eyes, and we are using the light of the sun to embark upon all of our daily material tasks, we become entrenched in disillusioned and illusioned by matter. Our two dualistic eyes, have us. I say dualism is connected to all aspects, right? So we untether ourselves we untethered ourselves to have this experience, like a child that loses its mother in a supermarket deliberately to have an adventure, just to see what it would be like to get lost. Similar scenario, So those our two dualistic eyes, looking from that dual perspective, actually have us split. They have us split, and which causes us confusion. But one of the main ways that we split is we untether, to our supreme nature. We untether from the androgynous creating force, which resides in that center. When we come out and we unwind, like I say, we lose energy. As we lose energy, we lose consciousness. Then what happens is we become untethered. When we become untethered from the realm, we have now split away. So now you've created a two. When you can have 0, and you have 1, 1, is like 2, because what happens is with 1, you see, one can only become 1 by becoming aware of itself, by becoming manifest, by recognizing that there is something else which is silent, which is 0, and that is how we then get 1 plus 0, which is masculine and feminine. Initially born from the unmanifest. When we drop down here, what then happens is, again, we embark upon, if for example, we wanted to look at the strength of your biomagnetic field, there is equipment that would enable us to do that. As you fall as a fallen angel, what happens is, it's like fairy dust. If you imagine yourself as this light body being, what happens is, your fields become lost to the environment. That's how it works. Like this. So if you can see this one here, I do have it in there as well. I have it in the other room, so we're going to look at it. But I just wanted to just quickly, whilst I'm on here, I want to show it. So if you see this here, there, right. So you can see the glucose here, but we're going to look at that, and this is the CO2 and everything else. But here you see the red and you see the blue, right? And this is pain gain. And in other presentations going forward, I'm going to be going on about I'm going to go into oxidation, OX. You see, sex, which is OX, right? Now the thing with sex, it can be a two-way street, because we're working inside of our 8, and in our 8 we have heaven and hell inside of it, So our sex, which I'm going to speak about in a second again, is a two-way street. But what is happening here on this that you can see, this is hydrogen gaining and losing. When hydrogen loses, you'll see this again because I'm going to show it, and then you can't see it properly on here. When hydrogen loses, we oxidize. That is your redshift, which is in your 9. This place wants to recycle everything that is ready to be recycled. So if you don't have enough light, and you are not triumphant in your adversity, then you are ready to be recycled. And that is why then Saturn is connected to the Earth again. And when you are in your last stages, you are with Saturn, which is privation, which is in your last stages of your life here, your existence here. And also, Saturn is the furthest planet away, and it has secrets within it. And we find that when people are in their older age now, they actually start to develop some wisdom, and they actually start to have a level of understanding that enables them to have more humility and so on and so forth. Those are the secrets that are within Saturn as well, because they have learnt their karma through lessons, yeah? And that is what we are going to see now when Saturn and Pluto conjunct on the 12th of July at 22 degrees, yeah? And then it will also, again, in a few days' time, on the 25th and the 26th, that is going to be the solar eclipse with the moon. And then there's going to be 5 planets in there again. 5 key planets that are going to be involved in that also. But the other one, the one that's coming up on the 12th, when it happened in 1914 was the First World War, and when it happened in the 1947 was the Second World War, and then when it happened in the early 80s, 82 I believe, this is the start of the internet, and look what this start of the Ethernet, and look where we are now. But Pluto is gonna bring about transformation, transmutation, yeah. All material objects and all these things belong to Hades. Going to come and swoop them up, yeah. Now, transmutation, transformation. I'll give you an example of how we know everything is being reflected back to us deliberately, yeah. It's reflected back to us, but not only is it reflected, nature reflects things back to us, yeah. But what actually happens is it's reflected, but it's done in the right moments, deliberately, yeah. So, for example, what I mean is this: aged urine waters aged plasma. There's a different type of plasma, the other type of, but all the plasmas are connected to the word to spread, because the ether is either way, which is why we have to come together to get ether, and that's why together means to get ether, yeah, because together we get ether, because either way the weather, yeah, which when it rains, even the word weather comes from ether, yeah. So the ether is everywhere because it pervades and permeates all things. Now, the waters of the urine, what happens is when we take it out of the body, yeah, it now develops because it is a living entity, see, because it's plasma. What happens is, because of its electrostatic charge, it develops its own magnetism now, yeah. And then what happens is it increases in its field strength. How do I know this? I know this because its pH increases, yeah, and that means its field strength has increased because its level of oxidation has now decreased, and because its level of oxidation has reduced, it means that its energy level has gone up. Its energy level has gone up, yeah, and it's moving closer towards. What's actually happening is it's moving closer towards a gaseous state, yeah. So it's going back in a little bit, but it's still in a matter state. Yeah, it's still in a matter state, yeah. But it's at the higher end of the matter state. So what's happened is it has now transmuted towards a gaseous state, and now it is now 600 times the strength compared to what it would have been prior. Yeah, yeah. So that is nature reflecting back and saying, look, yeah, when it's 9, yeah, it has spirit force in it, because with spirit, it has to be here, because without spirit you can't do anything. You can't really move without spirit. Everything moves around spirit. Yeah, spirit continues and everything moves around it, which is inertia. Yeah, and that's so what happens is, yeah, it comes out at 9 to tell us that you are operating in harmony. You're operating in perfect harmony with the laws of nature, which is why perfect harmony is pH, and pH is 7.8, and 7.8 is the resonance of her womb, which is her field, yeah, which is her field. And the hippocampus, which is dominated by H and P's, when that reaches a certain frequency of 7, again. Now Tesla also stated as well, which you can look at Tesla in a minute or so, yeah, that frequency of over 7,000 hertz just goes straight over the body. Yeah, we're talking about plasma. Talking about plasma here. Yeah. So, what's actually happening? Where I'm actually getting to with all of this, yeah, is that all things are transmutable. They are transmutable. Now, when I was using this here, we find it hard to understand in the beginning processes, and that's why I speak about all this, because our ego makes us think, oh, we already know. But no, you don't, because it's only because we've been in a matter state. But now energy is increasing in this place, right? And that's why it looks like it's a bit destructive, because it's an apocalypse, and that's like changing the guards and all the rest of it, yeah. And so that is the way that it works. And as we go back in, then what happens is energy increases. So when we come out here and we go back in towards a gassy state, yeah, the elements that have stayed in the matter state, they have not accelerated now. But we have accelerated. We have accelerated, yeah. And that now means because we have accelerated, we have more light to see more day. And because we have more light to see more day, you see, nature is far superior. It means that we're able to start to transmute elements to get them to do what we want them to do. The body is already doing that in many ways, but it struggles because we have untethered. When we re-tether, as we re-tether, yeah, then our consciousness rises drastically as we re-tether. And as we re-tether, our liberty, liberation, everything is encased within that re-tethering. Yeah. Because a plant, yeah, the word plane, if I add a T to it, I get the word plant and the word plane. If we put them together, we're going to get a planet. Yeah, a planet. Yeah, the two of them together. But a planet, for example, could only be born from plasma. Yeah, and that is so. And it is also so a place. Yeah, a place, a plant, and a plane, and a planet are all born from a plasma. And that is why they start with a P and an L. And the P and the L are interchangeable, and they're interchangeable by their state of energy also. Because the numbers, I do a lot of numerology to find out this truth, and the reason I put it out so deeply now is because I know that the creating force is deliberately trying to speak to us desperately now, yeah. And it expresses itself through the energy, the vibration of number, yeah. And it expresses itself in that pattern. And the plasma leaves impressions like that, and it do it through pattern, yeah, through number, yeah. And that's how it works, and that's through number, yeah, we're able to, right, because number, what number then does, and Pythagoras and stuff will tell you this, number denotes shape and form. It gives shape and form to things. Anything that's a 4 is solid. That is how things work, and that is why your sex is your fucking fertility. That is how things work. Yeah. Now, if I take a bumblebee, or I take a some ice, you know, you got the ice, you can see the shape. You will see that same 6 sex geometry inside of that bee, or maybe even a fly, because what I was looking at, the fly, it's using an electric charge, isn't it, to fly? Yeah. So in the geometry of its wing pattern, in the geometry of the bees and so on and so forth, in your ice and all these other things as well, in the leaves, definitely in the plants, definitely in the plants, then you will see it. Yeah, but we want to become. You see, we need to become like a plant. That is where we'd like to reach. There are experimentations that have been done. There's a guy called Stefano Mosconi, yeah, and he discovered that plants have memory that lasts for 40 days. There's another gentleman, which we'll have a look at, going way back, yeah, and he was one of the experiments that he did. What he did, yeah, the guy's name will when I go into, like I say, we'll look at it. Yeah, what he did was, I think it's going back in the 70s even. Yeah, he got a man to kill the partner. So there was the plant. There were two plants. So out of the two plants, what they did is that they killed the one plant, but the two plants are a couple. Yeah, but they're not harming anything, right? So because these two plants are a couple, what they did is they run a test and they chopped one of the plants up, killed one of the plants. Now, then and what happened was they got 6 people to stand around while they did that. They got all 6 people to walk past the other plant who'd lost its partner. That plant knew which person killed its partner. So, if a plant, you see? Right, and we're going to see now how advanced a plant is. We're going to see how advanced a plant is, because that's when we see matter. For matter to be born here, that is, yeah, it does make perfect sense that souls, yeah, like they say, because people say, oh, you come from the stars, blah blah blah. It does make sense, yeah, like it says in Genesis also, yeah, that the souls, the matter, yeah, came before the stars. It makes perfect sense once we understand exactly where we are, because the earth is the heart. There is a light that coagulates from the heavens, and it starts off cold. And what is the cold plasma? Cold plasma is a repairer of your physical avatar, because your physical avatar is only here because you were unwound. Because when you unwind, what happens is, which is why we hurt ourselves and we fall over and we're so imperfect. Because as you unwind, the energy decreases drastically, and then what happens is we manifest as this body. The soul manifests inside of as the actual body, yeah. So that is why when we come as one, there is a universal mind, and that's why that universal mind is one, because you're connected to the mind of the androgen creating force, yeah. And that is what we are aligning with, is that universal mind, yeah? And then when we are able to go to more the depths of the mind, then we are able to work upon astral. Then we can see. Then we're able to see from above the earth, and we're able to see from the sky. When we're able to do that, that gives us a more clearer insight and allows us to be able to see much more than the person that is still stuck on the ground that has less energy. Yeah. So that is the way things work, and one of the ways to do that is to become centered. Yeah, is to become meditative, and to become meditative means you have to begin to embark upon a middle road. Yeah. Now, in Iran, for example, they have a hijab. A hijab. Now, a hijab, you wear it over your head. Yeah. Now, you also have a high ram, yeah, which is Hiram Abiff, is it the Freemasons, yeah, and Hiram Abiff, there's the ritual that the Masons have. They kill Hiram Abiff, they kill him and they put him in a thing, because it's about you being dead. It's about the dead and the wake. It's about matter and spirit, yeah. But high ram is the ram, what is in your head, yeah. But it's, you see, high, H-I. So you see, and you are wearing a hijab, yeah. Right, and this is why, yeah. So because you are wearing, you see, your what's happening is we have the higher numbers. You see, the H-I's. Anytime when you get an I, the D in I, the C in I, yeah, it's telling you something, right? So that you are up high. Yeah. So what's happening is they are covering up high, and then so on and so forth. Now that scenario, these scenarios come about because we are not like the plant. The plant, what the plant is doing, yeah, is it's having perfect harmonious sex. What we have been doing, there is no right and wrong, but there is harm. Yeah, there is harmony and harm. So what we have been doing, yeah, and harmony and harm, yeah, you can see their words are very closely connected because they're all encased within inside of your 8, yeah, which is one infinite loop. So all things will just be recycled and then just come back again and restart again. Somebody might have come down here to experience, you know, somebody may have come down here to have lots of sexual experiences, because souls come down here for pleasure and pain, yeah, for pain gain, yeah, that's what happens. And then in actual fact, I'm going off the subject a little bit because I want to mention that, yeah. And what actually happens is shame comes into play, because as a soul is what we really are, but not the body, not the body. It's not that. So, but a soul, because we come here and we don't embark upon the work, upon the true work that we are said to have been doing, regardless of, I mean, all the distractions, everything. I never point a finger at nobody, because we are all here. We've all played all of these character parts. But what actually happens is we feel shame and guilt, yeah, because we didn't overcome the lower animal carnal psychology, and we didn't overcome the false ego. I did think I mentioned earlier, when we drop in here, yeah, you see the Sanskrit scripture will tell us is 5,000-6,000 years old. You've got your 5 elements. They're gross. You can't get away from this. You've got to work with them. You've got your 5 elements, and then you've got this 3 subtle. One of the subtle ones, yeah, is transcendental intelligence. To recognize, without transcendental intelligence, we're not going to be able to work with the ether. Yeah, we won't be able to see it, right? And then the false ego, yeah, and we have to be able to get over these, yeah, so that we can embark upon doing the work of the soul, yeah. Otherwise, yeah, there are things within our blood, right, yeah, which is Lucifer. You see, Lucifer is Sophia. Also, if you know, through Gnosticism, Lucifer is Sophia. But Lucifer, it has its higher aspect and its lower aspect and its fallen aspect, is tempting you to become encased and entrenched within matter, within deep matter, to stop you from being able to do what the soul came here to do. Yeah, and that is where the shame comes in, because it's all an infinite loop like this. Yeah, yeah. And then a shame isn't associated a lot with sex, which is why I'm talking about this hijabs. So in Iran, yeah, in the summer they had to get over 2,000 morality police. This his story is just deliberately inverted. It has to be like that in order for a game to play out. Yeah. And it has to be deliberately inverted that way, because otherwise you will recover your supreme divine nature and you will start using your super cape, and you won't be able to play this game no more because you'll be a co-creator. Yeah. And so what they did is they had these 2,000 morality police to basically police women who don't want to cover their faces and their bodies up. Yeah, because what's happened is, because we see sex, because we have harmful sex, we have become ashamed of it. All is 66, which is sex. So because it has been hidden from us what sex truly is, the way that the reality works, like I say, with the age during, with the slowing of a reflection, we are tethered. Really, we think we're not tethered, but really we are tethered. Yeah, see? And then what happens is, there's a dance with that tethering, because we think we're not tethered, the dance between red and blue takes place, which is this transverse wave. What actually happens, what happens is, yeah, because we think we are untethered, yeah, we think we're the body. So we don't understand the metaphysical, transcendental, spiritual side of ourselves. So we look at sex as a mundane. We're looking at it from our false ego, from our animal consciousness, animal psychology. How is that? Because an animal has sex to reproduce, does it not? Yeah. And when they do that, they ejaculate. But in actual fact, it's bad, you know, they tell you why. I'm trying to compare, people talk about being breatharian and stuff like that, but you're nowhere near the level of a plant. So what about an animal? Some of the animals, they're only going to just have this, they're going to reproduce. What are they doing? They're recycling their energy. Yeah. So where it has been where we told that sex is wrong, see, because of the paradox of the balancing. It's like the redox balancing in your blood. It's good to eat some food sometimes, some cooked food. I can get a massive high out of it as long as I keep to my practices. Yeah, because of balance. And so then what happens is, because of this wrongful sex, you see, yeah, because we don't understand this sex, the more that we push away from it, the more we push away from it, and a lot of the religions, the you know, just the Abrahamic religions, all of those three, these original religions, they associate themselves with a deep Saturnian feel, yeah, because it keeps everybody in line, sort of thing. Yeah, it keeps everybody restricted and in line. Yeah, but what it also does is it brings a fear around your sex as well, doesn't it? So then what happens is, the more that you push away from sex, the more you push away from it, the more, yeah, you will push away from your own divine nature and your own divine self. And the more you will harm you cause to yourself. And that is why, that is what was seen here. Yeah, I just read, they did it in 1979. I had a little look at it. It was that they first started it. Imagine that. So it wasn't there before 1979. So in 1979 in Iran, that was when that was brought in. So as a man, you are now, because you are sweeping that under the carpet, the men there, check this out, the paradox. Because of the sweeping under the carpet, it makes you more lustful. It makes you more lustful. When you are in a clear plasma state, yeah, you have so much control of your energy. You don't lust like that, ever. You don't look at women like that, in that way, anyway, because you want to conserve your energy. You may do a little bit, because it's natural, but you are not encased within it, yeah? So what they do, and I've asked other men about this as well, can't remember exactly, they are doing that, yeah, so that they are covering up, yeah, these women, yeah, because they feel as though the women, yeah, are sort of making the men, by wearing these clothes, etc., that the women are confusing the men, they're distracting the men. The women are somehow deceiving the men in some ways, yeah, and really it's because the men, yeah, they are adopting harmful ideologies, yeah, and what's happening then is it projects back outwards because of the harmful sex, which is attached to the fear and the shame, yeah. So because of that wrongful sex in the first place, and the way that it's been put out, they are stuck, yeah, in their base, and they are stuck in a stagnation, yeah, which creates this scenario where you have morality police trying to police women who are trying to tell you that you are being immoral, but yet you are doing that to them. Look at the level of confusion in that scenario there. And that scenario is born out of harmful sex. So that shows you how a whole country there, how the perception of sex warps everything and creates an inorganic scenario. So imagine the distrust and everything else that is surrounding that. Because that's what you're doing, you're emphasizing it, so whatever you align with, you're going to get more of now. The field's going to give you more of what you are, more of what you are, yeah. And so when we find in scenarios like this, under the cover, just like in the churches, you find some real dark stuff going on because energy is not being allowed to express itself. Sex experience itself, yeah. And that is why these scenarios, such as that one, I mean that's quite a heavy one. That is why they take place. A carnivore. The word carnivore, yeah, means flesh fetish. But you see, there's vibration. You're putting that vibration out. So I'm good saying when you speak, like I say, the number carries a pattern in it, yeah, which is expressing itself into matter, into the physical plane, yeah, and the number is carrying the flow of true energy within it. That is the way that it's working, yeah. It is continuing a flow, a constant flow of energy. That is how it is working. And what the number is then showing us is that energy is constant and there is no beginning, yeah. And also at the same token, there also is no ending at the same time as well. And that is why we have the 8, and that is what the 8 is telling us, which is the actual, again, it's like, which is like an Ouroboros speaking to us, yeah. So that is what we're saying there. So through the ways in which that we have the sex, the things that we do, the way we experience reality, the way we perceive it, yeah, then what actually happens is it reflects back to us what we are doing wrong and what we need to do, what we should be doing to resolve it. So in that scenario there, the women will end up saying, listen, we need to do something to resolve this. This isn't right. In tribes, this is what I was going to say, in a lot of tribes, what they do is this: they understand nature. They understand what they are. So the tribes women, you see, it's when we're saying about harmful sex, ejaculation. Last time I did a video, I was calling it masturbation, it's ejaculation. When we're saying this, remember, they're coming from the perspective, but we have been born into this. But the true reality isn't like that. But what happens is we are born into it like that. Yeah. So because we get born into it, then that is the way that it is for us. But it doesn't mean it's meant to be that way. So the tribes women, yeah, when they look at Western women, they think, why have you only got one partner? Right. Why have you really got one partner? Now, when I look at it, I've got my partner. So as I look at it, you'd think, oh, you wouldn't want another man to go around sleeping with your partner. Obviously, right? Yeah. You see, now that you think that this is why we think the things that we think, because it has already been predefined for us through the vibration of the word, and then we take it on board. Not the word, the vibration of the word. Yeah, we take that on board. Yeah. So what actually happens is these tribes women, they see that you have this one man scenario, and then what that does to the mind of the woman, the woman's mind is very, very delicate. We should really, really, we are supposed to, they are so powerful because their emotions is connected to the soul, but they are connected to matter, connected to our mother. Yeah. She is, her magnetism is constantly flowing, right? If her magnetism doesn't flow within you, you have stagnation in your emotional field, and therefore you will suffer. And what happens is your lifespan will be decreased because of this. This is how it works. You know, even your spirit, all the illnesses that we get, disease stemming from the spirit, stemming from the soul, stemming from your emotional field. So, and the way women perceive reality is supposed to be really deeply decked with nature, because they are our authority from a passive perspective. That is how it's meant to be. This is giving you organisation. For your 7, your mother is 7. Yeah, as well. So then what happens is they don't put, when one woman has this one man scenario, yeah, and princess syndrome through social engineering and an alignment with matter, material objects, yeah, then what happens is their emotions become badly dysfunctional in that fashion, and then what happens is you become confused. So they will start to do things with emotions. So when they have and experience any type of negative emotion, because they are not connected to the soul in that way, they outwardly push it onto others. And a woman they're very good at it. That's why we have the woman scorn. And the woman say things to you as a man which could really mess you up, really hurt you, just devastate you. This is why we have this. This is why the queen of this country, they brought in something now about abuse, mental abuse, with women being able to abuse men, saying because you have to start understanding that there's more depth to it, not just black and white. Yeah. So then that's why. So then, like I was saying, so then as a woman, then some of the women, yeah, because of the princess syndrome, because of the focus on being focused towards materialism, towards material objects, and so on and so forth, yeah, that then means that they express that outward emotion onto others. When they feel a negativity, then they put that onto other people, yeah, so that you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it as well as a woman scorn, yeah, and then what happens is also then a woman, then they align with that one man in this situation that we are in now. The way things are, it's so heavily in alignment with this harmful sex, yeah, and this very restrictive way that you've been born in, that they've been born into, yeah. That then creates like a level of like a narcissism. That is how it works. Because what happens is that now each woman now is attached to her man, but she is detached from her triumphant nature, which is within nature, yeah. So then now she has these superior forces and powers that reside within her, but she doesn't know that she doesn't realize they're there consciously, but she knows they're there subconsciously, yeah. But what happens is now she is detached to her man. This creates levels of insecurity because the woman is a superpower, but doesn't realize it until she re-tethers to her God, to our mother, because she is God. You are God. You are a God. When you re-tether to your God, to yourself, then you recover your divine superior nature. We are re-tethering. So I say, this information that I'm going to speak about now with the plasma, there's other people that speak about it elsewhere and so forth. Not that many, there's a few, but like it's little old me telling you this, that the ether's here. Some people who are occultists, etc., will know when we're saying this, they'll have an understanding of that yeah, it's very likely that is here. Right. So there's little old me telling you that this ether is here, but you've also been using your own practices in the matter state, and they work for you in the matter state. This is what I was saying. You only know what you've got. You only know the room that you're in whilst you're in it. There's still another 100 rooms outside of the room that you're in, but you can only speak about your room that you are in. You don't know about the other 100 rooms because you haven't been in them yet. And that is the problem with human beings. This is what we do. We quickly do it. Yeah. So, yeah, this is what I'm saying. And so when somebody like little old me is coming and telling you, look, that this is super forces that reside within the within atmosphere that you can't see with your own dualistic eyes, but we are able to create magnetic field strength and match the field strength of the carbon that is within your environment, and we are able to, not your carbon, we are able to bring in the fields of carbon, which means it's a superior force compared to what you are used to dealing with, but you have never seen it before. But because we have been living in this life, yeah, we kind of feel as though we thought, we've seen it, we cracked it. We haven't. We are now going to go into a new plane where everything is going to become brand new. Yeah, because we're going to move into the fourth state, yeah, which is our gassy state, and then the fifth state is the plasma, which is, yeah, and that is us accessing the fifth element, yeah. But the fourth state is the gases, which leads to the fifth element, yeah. But the fifth element, we are interacting with that anyway. But you're not going to see that. You can't see it. You can't see it like that, yeah. What we can see is the gases. The gases and the GANs, yeah. So, yeah. And so then when I say some things like the copper oxide, which we'll look at, when I put it in, copper, electricity, electrical, yeah. Copper, I'm using copper plates. We use copper plates to pull this in. You see, you've got your Venus, which is connected to, yeah, which is going to be connected to the air sign, which is connected to the Libra, also going to be connected to the Taurus bull. What's a Taurus bull? Taurus bull is the Earth, which is your bully field, which is here. That Venus, yeah, we are pulling in the fields of copper, yeah. I was saying earlier, so we coagulate, everything is coming from the light of that central sun, right, which is coming from the heavens. It's cold light, it's gold, yeah, which is a 6, which is 196 gold mass. When that is then incoming, it interacts. There's another 6, there's a 7 pyramid, there's a 7 it's not the hexagram, the hectogram, the next one up, I believe, is a 7, right? And then what happens is we have the light of the sun, and then there's the 6. Outside of them 6, you then have the Mercury. Yeah. And tell you what, that's going to lead me on to doing. Right. I'm going to go straight in. Into doing this board. Right. And then what we're going to do then is, because I'm using a new system, this to record this, and we'll cut this off. Then I'm going to go and use the phone to get on with the practical. But then, just as I've done that, we speak, because I've just mentioned Mercury, because Mercury then is the one planet out of the other 6, yeah, that isn't, yeah, totally fixed in terms of relying upon the actual light of the sun, because it skips around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the syncretism on this board, and then go straight into the boards in here. So, straight into this one. I've done a board in here for a little while. So what you've got, what you have, matrix. So remember, so it's expressing itself through number. That is the way that it's working, right? It's always going to express itself, even if, what I will quickly do, before I start that, is just read this, just quickly, right? Nature is expressing herself with numbers. The symmetry of our decimal system is a principle of nature, right? So I'm always talking about the 9, yeah? The 9. Everything is emanating from the 9. The 9 axis causes the doubling circuit, and it is the point towards which matter converges, yeah? Matter converges away from which it diverges and expands, right? Yeah. So nature is constantly expressing itself through numbers, yeah, through the pattern and through the flow of number, and then it works through this field. Yeah, the movement of this field, yeah, dictates the vibrational frequency, which is assigned to a number, and is also assigned to the octaves as well. The octaves are 12 and a 7. 12 is a Jupiter, which is the eagle, the bald eagle, and it sees all things. And the 12 is coming from a cube. It's a cube, has 12 angles to it, yeah, which is your 66, yeah. Then you've got your 7, which is your 7-ray serpent, yeah. So your 7 and your 12 go together, but your 7 is your do, re, mi, say, fa, lo, da, da, yeah. Da, 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 dom, 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 do. Is connected to T, and T is connected to your tongue, which is connected to your tongue is vum, vum, vum. It's a transmuting, transmuting plasma device, which is near your throat, which is also, yeah, encased within your 7, yeah, which is here, which is your P, which is your P for light, which is, but the 7 and the 3 are, like I was just saying, with your plasma and your places, your P's and your L's, your 7s and your 3s are interchangeable. They've been that way, going all the way back, right from the Hebrew alphabet. So we'll get through this board. So what you've got here is matrix. Matrix is 4. What is 4? 4 is matter. Yeah, 4 is matter. So what matrix it's telling you, yeah, is that a matrix is matter. So a matrix is this where you are now. Now matter has different levels of density to it. So I can have a matter, yeah, but I can look at water as a matter as well, which is why water is matter. And water also, the vibration of this speaks that language. Yeah, speaks that language. And that is why, you see, so water, like I was just saying, is a 4. But water is less dense. It is not as going to be as dense, yeah, as, say, the ground or the earth is. But it's still a form of matter. Right, so a matrix is the matter plane. But guess what? In French, the word matrice, the word for matrix is womb. Now a womb is 8. Now we're saying earlier that we are inside of this 8. And inside of the 8, what actually happens is you have life and death. And like the numbers tell us, and we will see also, what happens, like this here, you can see, is a continuous flow of energy. Continuous flow of energy. And that's what the number shows us. So the womb is the 8. So it's telling you there that you are within inside of a womb. And that womb is inside of an 8, is the 8. Yeah? Which is your Ouroboros. Yeah? As well. But then that you can get an Ouroboros like that as an infinity loop. And you've also got your Ouroboros as your 0. Yeah, one whole loop. Now, if we look at this, the avatar is 9. So then, what that gives us, that now gives us spirit and matter. That gives us spirit and matter, because then what that's doing is it's giving us 49, 4s and 9s. Just 1 second. You'd have to excuse me. I just had to go to the toilet. You see, that is what I'm just going to say. See, actually, I just had to go to the toilet, you see? You see, this is what I mean about predefined. Everything has been predefined, and then it sits inside of the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind takes things in like that, and then what it does, it engrounds them within your psyche. And this is how we form belief patterns. And that is why I don't do beliefs. I don't have anything to do with beliefs. I only deal with knowing. And this is born out of knowing, but this is born out of action, which is coming from wisdom. So the average being, they don't recycle. Yeah? They don't I've noticed that they don't actually need the toilet hardly that much. You should, when I have lots of water flowing, I have this massive energy, this orgasmic, ecstatic buzzing through my heart, which I experience every day. That I'm gonna save that now and age that. But look at it, it's clear, it's water. That is water anyway. Yeah. So I just wanted to tell you why I was doing that, why I just went away. Right. So here we are. Matrix is 4. Yeah? So matrix is 4. Yeah? Now the avatar is then 9. Which is what I'm saying. So which is not just what, which is how it is. Yeah? So these two words here, before I did anything else on this board, if you looked at these, if you realise what I've done here, that's it. It's done. That's it. It's spirit and matter. Yeah? You are spirit and you are within matter. Right? But you have unwound yourself, and as you have unwound yourself to get here, yeah, you've slowed down like this. Yeah? And as you slow down, you cannot remember. You need to now try to remember. So what happens is, it's like I had a post that I was going to do, but I'm not been out for days because I've been trying to get the presentation set up. Right, what you are doing is walking in reverse. You are re-walking in reverse back to your state of perfection, because you have wound yourself all the way outwards, and now you are coming back in reverse back to your supreme state of being, which is why it feels so weird, yeah, at times, because you are where you were, where I was 12 months ago. I've now accelerated back. I've now accelerated another again, yeah, backwards, back to the center, back to the core center of all things, back to perfection. This is just a game. It's a game, a computer game, like a computer game. And you are in it, you think that it's real, you think that you are. Because you think that it's real is how you become untethered. And because of that, we align, yeah, with energies here that we cannot see. Because we have decreased in energy, yeah, and we have become confused by his story. And then that is when you align with the transverse hybrid electrical effect, yeah, which is illusory, right? But you are an avatar in this flesh suit now. So this flesh suit, as it unwound, it is still a spirit. A spirit. It is a spirit, but it doesn't have to be a soul. The soul, you have to activate the soul, which resides within your emotional body, which resides within your waters. Yeah. So that is what we have here now. ORP is the measurement. Is how we measure life. I'm going to measure, like I was saying earlier, if you have more oxidation, I'm going to do this on the next video. It's got a lot to break down on the oxygens, and even the word die is 9. Even to die is 9. It will be, because it's in the DIs. It's in the DIs. So this is why I show you that dying doesn't exist, because it's divergence, right? So there is no dying, but things have to diverge. And then what our mother does, she does murder as well, you see. We call it murder because it's not recycling. Yeah, things have to be renewed and reborn again. So the word die is 9. Die 9. Die 9. Yeah. So ORP, which is the measurement of life and death, because I do these measurements here of life and death. So I don't listen to anybody else. I've heard people say, oh, an ORP reading's not going to really tell you anything. But when you deal with the Gnosis that I'm dealing with, yeah, no, I don't need anybody to tell me anything, because I do it, and then I feel all the advancements and the benefits that are incoming from it every single day. So then we know. But an ORP reader is very good. Yeah. So, but ORP itself equates to 22. You couldn't put this in the book. Seriously, ORP is 22, which equals V, which equals volt. Volt equals 33. Now the air contains volt. It contains nothing but volt. Yeah. There is a guy. But I've got the book in here. We'll look at it. Yeah. What happens is I think it's every meter that you go up. Yeah. The voltage increases. Once you get to 31 kmh, yeah. Once you get to 31 kmh, kilometers, yeah, then that's when it reaches its maximum, yeah, which I believe is 12 volts, and that is how you can draw energy from out of the air. The air contains lots of energy within it, yeah, more energy than we could imagine. And you could put up an antenna, put it into the ground, and send it up about 12 feet, I think, right into the air. And once it reaches that barrier at 31 kmh, yeah, what actually happens is you can then start to pull charge down and pull electricity straight from out of the air. Yeah, right. So you got the volt. Your volt is your plasma. The more volt you get, the more you are moving towards this plasmatic state. Yeah, through the voltage. High frequency. This is what Tesla was trying to teach people, and he used to have 18 napkins as well, and he didn't like the people. To be fair, I am not Tesla. I'm me. I don't like the people. The normal. I don't like. I can't go around them. Yeah, and I don't look down on them neither, because I've been like them, in a way. Yeah, I've been there and been like them, but just dumbness, right? So, and I know we tested some of the interviews he's done. He told people, it's been to him far worse than I would have. Like, there was a woman that came into Tesla's room and she had pearls in her ears. So he said to her, just leave the stuff on the side and shut your mouth, get out, sort of thing, to this lady, because of what she was wearing in her ears. Yeah, because it was organic, I think, what she had in her ears. Yeah, it's coming from nature. And he could feel it. So he can feel it. Yeah, the more sensitive we become, the more that we can feel, because within nature there is more life there than we know, that we could ever begin to imagine in our decreased state of energy. Yeah. So this is why a volt is 33. Yeah. And a 33 is, to become a 33, you have to become a master builder. You have to become a master of your temple. And this is how you access your 33, because you write your serpent rises up all the way up the slippery pole. Yeah, all the way up the slippery pole, and then it reaches your pole star, towards your pole star. Yeah, which is a Stargate, which is going to allow you to become a receiver and an antenna for the fields, the immortal beings, which then enables you to align with the universal mind, which is the mind of the divine duo creating forces who reside within total perfection within the absolute. Right. So plasma charge, that's what it's giving you. That's what that volt is giving you. Lightning is UV. UV is 7. We're going to get there. But anyway, let's continue here. Plasma charge. Now, MV is how we measure. That's the millivolts. This is the millivolts that are within a charge within your avatar. Your avatar is not what you think it is, which is why I keep saying the name again. Tesla, we put volts through his body, electric volts. Lovely, fantastic. This is why I'm saying to you, with this plasma, it is a superior. There was about 20-30 superconductors in there, in these that you drink. When you drink it, it is super powerful. But I have more and more and more, yeah, because I understand this. Why I understand is this. I understand that this energy here is a part of my light body. My light body responds to voltage, because the plasma is a bridge to the other planes. But you can't get there in this, because it doesn't have the energy to do it. Yeah, it has to stay here and go back to the 9, the dies, the 9s. Right. So this is why you see this, and that MV equals 8. Yeah, it's the 8, right? But the 8, boss, balance. Yeah, the 8 is also associated. The 8 is associated with Hermes, is associated with Thoth. It's associated with Hermes. Hermes is the 8. Hermes is H-E-R. Hermes. Her is 22. Yeah, which is master number passive, which is matter, which is our mother. Yeah, Thoth is also 8. equates to 8 as well, does both. And he's speaking of balance. Now, the Christ number is 888. But guess what? You see, Ma, right? Ma, if I take the word Ma and I split it, I will get tricks. Tricks is 8. But the 8, you've got tricks in it because the 8 is the 8th house. And the 8th house is connected to sex. But in your sex, it can be tricky in your sex. The reason it can be tricky in your sex is because our mother, you see, she's guarding that area with Lucifer at the same time. So it's going to make you make a choice. Yeah, because once you test you out, see if you can meet up to it. Yeah, see if you've got enough about you to overcome these tests. Yeah, so she's going to test you in your lower regions. It's the same, like I was saying, with the urine, etc. And lots of scenarios. So when you come towards your ejaculation, she's going to test you to see if you've got it within you. And then Lucifer's also going to go, come on, you always do this. This is how you show your love. She's going to think you don't love her if you don't do it. This is the other thing as well, because of, you see, with the woman as well, attached to emotions, and it's not their fault as well, because of what we've been displaced. The harmfulness, the duality means the disconnected untethering also means it with many women as well. Not just women, keep talking about women, men and women. Right, dysfunctional masculine or feminine, yeah, will feel, can feel as though the ejaculation is love, but it's not, it's desire, which is the I. You see, I is 9. But you should never I, because I equals desire. You see, because 9 will take you down. Deliberately so that you can recapture your superior nature. That is how that works. Yeah? So then you've got your, so then what happens is this. The Christ number is 888. Right? So the Christ number is 888. Now, with the Christ number being 888, that comes us back down to 6. Yeah, it equates back to 6. Right? Now, and it equates back to 6. It's giving you 196. So it's telling you that the Christ is the Christic Sun. Is the light of the Christic Sun. There. Yeah? 196 gold. Gold mass. Which is the Sun is gold. Yeah? But it's cold and it's coagulating from the heavens. Yeah. Now gold mass expands with harmony sex. We are expanding the field when 6 and 6 come to get ether. I hope that makes sense. So that's what's happening. That's how this is really working through this syncretism and number. I'm able to come to an understanding of truth. We're able to come to understand the truth like this. Yeah? So 6, 888 will give you 6. 6 equates to 196, which is gold mass. Gold mass we know is the light of the sun, coming from the heavens. The light of the sun is Christic. It also resides within your sexual regions, and the light of that sun penetrates our mother. Yeah? And I have that sun down as the 5. And you will see exactly why, and we will see when we go into exactly why it is. You got 500 sperm that get released every time an ejaculation. Yeah. So there you have it there. So you've got your gold mass, yeah, and then you have got incoming 66 coming together, coming to get ether, right? Okay. So then moving forward, right? So you see when you've got the avatar, right? Avatar, yeah, is born out of the 3rd. The 3rd is the 3. The 3rd is part of a spiritual vector. So the 3rd is equating to spirit, matter and soul. Yeah? Spirit, matter and soul. Right? As a 3. As those 3. Which is going to give you the C. Yeah? But you see, to converge is always going to be the COs. They converge in. CO is CO2. converge in, because it's coming from 9 down, converging. That's how this place works. The energy converges back in on itself, it diverges out here, and then it converges back in up here. Yeah, that's how that is how that works. Right. So here, CONH, which is the macabre, yeah, because the fields of CONH is what creates this place. Because the light of this 6, yeah, the light of this 6 interacts with salt and this nitrogen here to bring forth these other elements into play, which the plant and the avatar, you are 96% of this. 96. There was a car pilot the other day of 96 cars. You can't put this together. I did a post the other day. I do it all the time. These numbers, it's not what we think this place is. It's spitting these numbers out. It's letting you know that it's about to go through a transmutation. Yeah, spitting out the real deal. It can only keep up illusions for so long and fakery. It can't last long in a place which is so organic. Right. So check this out. But the CONH equates to her 22. 22 equates to 2020. Equates to 2020. A lot of things have been happening right now around those 22s. Yeah. So equates to 2020. And 22 also equates to her. It means her. It means her, which is our mother. She is passive. She is V. What is V? V is a yoni, is a vagina. Is it not? Yeah. So there you have it. Right. You got your macabre, and macabre is 33. Yeah. So your macabre is already built as a master builder. You have it become stagnated. The aim of the game here is to expand this field. Yeah. But like I'm going to speak about, it's energy currency. Energy currency. Currency. Currency is 99. Flow of a current. Of a currency. Yeah. FGF21 is a flow of yours through your stillness, through your fasting, is a flow of you've released a flow of energy down here. It's allowing this to diverge. You then receive currency as energy expenditure. If you keep going through this, I'm going to show the right way how to ascend. You know, the way, the true way to ascend, yeah, is through the light of that sun. Because you've realized that you have not this body, and you have re-tethered back to your true authentic self. Yeah, you have tethered back to your true authenticity, and you have tethered back to your true authentic self. Because you have done that, you now recognize where you are and what it is that you need to do to get up out into the next planes. Yeah, which is through your sex. Massively. It's the moments we are in now, yeah, it's through sex. In times gone by, in occult, in mystery schools, in teachers, sometimes they would not have been working with the ether like this. They have it. They've had it though. I've had it. And Atlantis, it was there. It was using it, already working with it. In actual fact, like in the sea, once you are causing no harm, the stronger fields you can pull them in. But it's only you got to get there first to the point where you're causing no harm. So macabre is 33. Now within alchemy we have a universal Mercury. It's called universal Mercury. A lot of the words I'm going to go through when I go into my other boards, I'm going to show you that your turns, your burns, your fires, your irons, your firm, your crisis, your iris, yeah, your Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, urine, water, all connected. Why are they all connected? I'll tell you why. Because they all contain masculine fire within them. They contain your 9, yeah, not just the masculine fire, but they contain energy. Those words all interchange as one. They all interchange as one. Anything with all the ERs, the IRs, you'll see in a minute. And they're all mostly associated with words that are about energy to do with man. Power to do with man. Yeah? Or big things like planet, like, you know, luminaries. Like Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, Uranus. Yeah? Right. So, this is where we are. So there was a universal Mercury in alchemy, which is actually the ether. And they use the universal Mercury, knowing full well that it is the ether that they're working with, that is being worked with. Now, Mercury passes the Earth, right, every 116 equals 8 days. Yeah, that's how it works. Now, so that's what it's doing. It's passing the Earth, making sure that's happening on the 8. On the 8. It's not going to do it until next on the 8. Now, Hertz, HZ, we know frequency is everything, equals 88. Yeah? Mercury pings back and forth across the sun every 88 days. What is this? This H is an 8. And inside of this H, I was able to encase everything. Our language, you see, we look from perspective of everything being toxic and everything. We forget there's a before golden periods, like the Tartaria and so on and so forth. You forget this, right? You don't realise that these languages, etc., are born from divinity. People can't really. What actually happens is they're associated with the workings, the superior workings of this realm. They're attached. Everything is tethered. It's only because we are the illusion of being untethered is why. Yeah, and that is why we think. So some people think that their language is toxic and it don't mean anything, because man, you're basically saying that you don't mean anything and man is nothing, and so on and so forth. That is the perception that you have been given, which is born from your personality. Your personality wants to harm you, and your personality wants you dead, wants you to not realise what you came down here for, so you can merrily, life is but a dream. So you're just daydreaming. You never ever come to any clear understanding or any clear knowing of what it is it was even meant to be doing here. And that's what we want to nullify for the soul. Yeah. Right. So 88 days. Yeah. It pings back across the sun every 88 days. Yeah. Mercury, which is her, which is 22. Yeah. And 8, which is the 8. The H, which is the 8. Yeah. So then, look, there's a thing with the sun. Now, they changed the sun to Sunday because of H. Helios. Yeah? Connected to the sun. 8, Helios. If I went through it, if I broke it down, I'd probably get something out of that Helios. Now, I know with the Inquisition, with a lot of my studies, but also, they changed the days around, you see? They changed the days around, right? Now, but the sun and the moon, which is pituitary and pineal, yeah, they are kind of interchangeable, and they do a dance together, don't they? You know that the light of the sun and the moon is the grandmother of the earth. Now, in numerology, look how it works. The sun is 9. The sun equates to 9. Yeah? Sun equates to 9. There. Because, you see, what happens is, over and above everything is spirit. So above balance, yeah, and above an infinite loop within nature, constant, within nature, yeah, you have to have spirit, which is causality, and that light comes from causality, and it interacts when it's interaction when it comes here and it penetrates these 3, which gives birth to a 12. That 12 gives you 12, which gives us our 12 signs, and from that 12, yeah, then we get our equinoxes and we get our solstices at the same time as well, based on the sun. But it is the light, is the interaction with this sun, this light, yeah, and the other luminaries that creates the different fields different field interactions, which that gets emitted into this realm, which then affects different beings at the same time as well, different souls at the same time. Because remember, you have only come in here and unwound, so your light energies and everything else are still aligned with you and you as you came here, depending upon when it is that you dropped and which location is it you dropped into at the same time as well. Yeah, so that is why you have sun, which is 9, and you have sun, which is 9, and sun day, which is 3. Yeah, but the moon is 3 and Monday is 9. Yeah, but I've seen it and I know it to be, they changed everything around. Yeah, and the sun, obviously it wasn't really Sunday. It used to be Monday. The moon, Sunday used to be Moon's Day, which is rest, and a reset. That's what it would have been. But we've got no qualms in venerating the sun, have we? No, it's not possible. So then here, what you have, I've got here, you see Jupiter up high, but Saturn is down low. Jupiter is expansive and Saturn is restrictive. And that is why Saturn is the 3, but then Jupiter is the 9. Yeah? This one here is amazing because these are interchangeable. And they're always dancing around like that. So numerology tells you can see the energy there. You can see the energy there. Sun and moon, sun and moon, sun and moon. You can see it, it's already there. Yeah. So here, so then what we have here is this. Your P, yeah, which is your 7, yeah, which is light. But your UV is 7. Now, what is UV? UV is lightning, yeah? It's UV is lightning, and I'm going to show you can see how we can use lightning, to remove most bodily ailments. Yeah, that's how things work, because lightning is plasma. But then you see a serpent is the 7-ray serpent. And serpent, remember I was just saying about Jupiter, Saturn, serpent, ER, 5s and 9s. Yeah, this is what's happening, 9 and 3. So this is Saturn, 9 and 3. See the vibration? See? And that's how it goes. So Jupiter, this is your 5 and your 9s, which is your energy, force again. Yeah? So you have them. So serpent equates to 7. Now I'll tell you the 7 and 3 is interchangeable. Because what happens is this serpent has to be, for it to be activated, see the mind's ascending through the sun with this knowledge. For it to be activated, you open the heart with chastity, wisdom and love. A continuous process. And yeah, whilst raising this serpent upwards, yeah, yeah, through non-ejaculation, and also by the injection of superior forms of energy constantly. Yeah, it's you're working, everything is sex. Yeah, everything is sex. When you are reciprocating, and that's why this, we're going to see in a minute, this verge, everything is sex. A verge, yeah, is a rod. A rod is a phallic, but a phallic isn't just a penis, a dick like what we think it is. A phallic is the inverse of the field, right? It's an inverse of a field, right? So then your 3 is encased inside of this 7, and these are the 3 here. This pyramid, love, wisdom, and chastity. Yeah. So the 7 is working on a different line of energy to the 3, but they come together, and the 3 resides within your heart, which is the 12. Yeah, which is the 3, which is the earth, and on the earth we should have spirit, matter, and soul combined. Right. So then this is why here you have the DIs. Now Dios equals God in Spanish. Yeah. Divinity. Look at this. Anytime when you see this DI, it's spirit and matter. It's this, and you'll see how it works now, and how that works. And there, so this was the Thoth I had on this other bit. And I've got that bit on here. I didn't look at that. Thoth was 8, connected to Hermes. Look, which is, because remember, Thoth and Hermes is 2 different timelines. same person, same being, two different timelines, but they're both 8. Look, the vibration is there. It's there. Yeah, they're 8. Yeah, wisdom, once balance between light and dark is attained, she's 8. Yeah, right. And then even when I come into here, this here is light after light. It's called light after light. Now, this gentleman here records souls when they leave here as the gases. Right. The Egyptian mythology, the human consists of 8 substances: name, body, shadow, also sexuality, glow, living force, and immortality. Part of the soul, which is Ba. Right. Now, what I wanted to show was, now it goes on to here. This is talking about Aztecs, because you see Aztecs and the Mayans, these are all serpentine civilizations, right? So here, because this is about the Aztecs, right? The underworld was ruled by the infernal deities. See, the underworld. Now, what's going to happen is Pls again. The 7 and the 3s is Pluto, isn't it? And that is the god of Hades, which is the land of the dead, which is where we have been in now. And it takes as well as of all the material possessions. Why does it do that? Because the material possessions was only really there from Lucifer, it's like Sophia in the fallen aspect, tempting you to align with your material natures and align with your harmful sex, because it is an energy. It's a different type of energy, a lustful energy that will pull you down, which is called your Kunda buffer. It's called your Kunda buffer. There was a man called Gurdjieff who wrote a book called Beelzebub's Tales, and in that he explains a lot about this. And he says there was a man who came from outer space, etc. Gurdjieff is a serious occultist. Now, what happened was this being came from out of space, right? Now, he came to Earth, I think, 6 times, but he said that there was mad beings on the Earth, and then he went into a big, who had been manipulated, yeah, and made to function this Kunda buffer without. They were called 3-brained beings. I got it in there. We'll show it. So, but I want you to see this here. So, the underworld was ruled by infernal deities. Yeah. Michichelante here. That's a very long name. What's that? And his wife governed the 9 underground rivers. See, governed the 9 underground rivers and the souls of the dead. Right, now when I turn this over, it will then go on to tell me in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, or Bardo, yeah, is a sacred book of the litanies to be recited by the Lama over the body of the deceased for 49 days. Spirit matter. There. 49 days. Yeah. Right. So it's, and then you see here. So these is this is this probably to be Aztecs and so on and so forth. And as you come through this here, this book, you'll be welcomed. There's in here to science that shows that clearly shows you what happens when you leave this place. Yeah. And so on and so forth. So that is where we was at. So divinity, when I go on to the next book, this will be a powerful number as well. I'm sure it equates to 4. I've already done it, I've just not written it. I think it's 4. I'll tell you in a minute, I'll go on to that. Now, so then what happens is, this field, it diverges. It has to diverge and then converge. Now, the inertia, what happens is, the only place that life can exist inside of a dielectric field, yeah, of magnetism, is this resting place in the middle. Inertia is the only place that life can exist. Now, what happens? The magnetism, with this inertia, it's like when it opens up like this, as it loses itself, yeah, the loss of it creates this magnetism. And this is why our father comes and impregnates our mother, and then what happens is it creates a movement now. and which is like your ripple effect. And then what happens is then it then opens up. She then opens up her magnetism in a feminine fashion, as a feminine passive fashion, and then that energy then flows and flows and flows and flows. Yeah. So and then this is spirit and matter encased inside of the word. You can't see that there properly, but it says J2O. Even when they sell you a drink, if they sell a drink, they call it J2O, but it equates to, make sure it equates to 9. Yeah. So when we to divergence, we diverge. When we diverge, like I was saying here, a diverge. Yeah. When we diverge, yeah, verge is a rod, and a rod is a phallic. Yeah. And a phallic is a hyperboloid, which is this here, which runs up the centre. In this moment now, they venerate this hyperboloid as a Yule log, and they will light it for 12 days, because this 12 is connected to this 3, which is connected to the 7 meridians that run throughout this plane. Yeah, and that is so a hyperboloid is 66, which is what 66 is sex. So it's telling us that the hyperboloid here, yeah, is connected to this whole womb. Everything that is encased inside of it, yeah, is working, yeah, off of the hyperboloid, which is an hourglass, and then that hourglass shape is like the base, is the building back in the base for the magnetism that flows from there. And this is why phallic is 7, because it's your 7-ray serpent, and that is why the word phallic is 7, and that's why the word phallic, it starts with perfect harmony, which is PH, because it's your prong, yeah, which is your light, because it is emitting a 5 light, 500 sperm, which is why the 9 and the 5 and the 11, yeah, again can be equated to active energy, yeah, as that as well also. So that's how that works. But then the phallic is a 7, yeah, because it's this hyperboloid that runs, which is a verge, because a verge is a rod, yeah. But then your penis is a 9, because your 9 is in your sexual region, which is coming down. Because what does a penis do? It falls down, does it not? Just like it's like the 9 does. But it is emanating life, Christic life, yeah, that can help one to transmute correctly. But see, the more stillness that we action here, and then when we learn to create a flow, then we are increasing our energy currency, so we can transmute through the light of the sun. Yeah, that is how that is working. So then when you have DI, you've got DI. So diverge, distance, direction, disturb, but disassociate. Diuretic. What's a diuretic? A diuretic is when it's coming out. So you drink tea and coffee, it's a diuretic. It's diuretic. So what it's doing, it's making your phosphates come out of your penis here. But you are supposed to know, you're 9, and supposed to know that when that light comes out, that you are supposed to carry that flow of energy onwards and converge it back in through your 7 here, so that it can access your 3, and then so on and so forth. Yeah, and that's why you have this distance is disperse. There's a distance, isn't there? See, look what you're getting with spirit and matter. You got direction. Which direction we're going to go into? We're going to go that way or that way in matter, but we'll go that way, but we need the energy to do it. So we need spirit and matter to get that done. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, so if you want to disturb something, yeah, like if I make a disturbance, yeah, if I need to disturb the waters, or if I make a disturbance in the ether, yeah, right, I'm disturbing something, whether that's that's matter, but it takes spirit to disturb the matter to get that done. Yeah, and that's why you have distribute and disassociate, because you're coming out. And this is what happens with bicarb. It disassociates the acid. Disassociation. Yeah. And then there's more. When I'm speaking, I'm doing this, there's loads just coming from out in the cloud. And I think, I should have just said that, I should have said that. No, that's not that sort of stuff. Right. So that is how, and then what happens is here, is you see a diamond is split into 4. A diamond is 4, and so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We put a cross inside of that diamond, that also gives us a 4. But what a cross does is it has the long bit coming down here. If I put this bit here, I'm going to get a 9. I'm going to get a 9 because it's speaking to you through a transcendental language. That's what's happening. So then it's telling you here that your 4 here is penetrated by a 5th there. But here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This was originally a H, and now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like a diamond. Yeah, and then in here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inside of there, plus a sun and a moon. But a dipole is a balancing. So when these two hydrogen and this oxygen, when they split here and they create this perfect balancing point in the middle, you're accessing the 0 point. So we're accessing counter space, and then that gives you a spirited matter accessing light pole, and that's what dipole is. And a diamond is encased within the earth, is it not? Yeah. So that's where you're gonna get. That's why you have the word diamond in it. And the diamond is filled with energy. Yeah, because the diamond is filled with carbon, and the carbon has nothing but energy in it, because carbon equates the master number also at the same time too. So, and then this is the hyperboloid on the inverse here, and then you've got your 7 here. You've got your 7. You've got your 7. Your hyperboloid is running directly through your core of your system, and it is housing your light magnetic centers, and that center, the hyperboloid, is the active creative principle that is running through the middle of your center, which is why you must meditate to access your middle, the middle of your being, and then through doing that, you are then able to become balanced in all the things that you are doing in the physical. So that's that board. So then what happens is you see P9. So you see this is P9. Phallic and penis, look, they're P and 9, right? When you put P and 9 together, yeah, P and 9 together, you're going to get spirit and light. They are one. They are one. Do you know if I join them together at the bottom, they're going to become, that is why they're kissing. Can you see, look, they're kissing. It's not what you think, it's not what we first thought it was. There's a different level of understanding, different levels of transcendental intelligence. So they're actually kissing to tell you that the spirit and light are one ether, plasma, P9 perturbation. So, peace, love and centness. We'll see you on the next one.